What's happening, people? I hope you're all well. So, midweek report time. So let's start off with the obvious one. Artur Beterbiev beats Dmitry Bivol by majority decision. Many people thought the Bivol did enough to take that. And initially, from watching it, I concurred with that opinion. I thought, watching it for the first time at the end of the fight, that Bivol had done enough to win it by maybe 2 or 3 rounds. But I need to watch it again. I haven't watched it again. I haven't scored it. I need to watch it again before I'm definitive on that. So I'm going to keep my mind open. You know, I guess I have to stick with Bivol right now. But ultimately, I am prepared to be wrong with regards to that. So Artur Beterbiev gets the win. A lot of people seem to think that Dmitry Bivol won the fight. A lot of people seem to be thinking that. So, I mean, Dmitry Bivol definitely landed the more telling punches without a doubt. But is that enough to win a boxing match on its own? No. So I need to watch it and see if my second viewing is the same opinion as my first viewing. So Beterbiev gets the win. Also on that card, you had Fabio Wardley versus Frazer Clarke. And boy, that was quite a knockout. I've never seen a guy get knocked out and have a dent in his head. So Fabio Wardley demonstrating his power. Imagine that fight went 12 last time, and then in the rematch, round 13, Fabio Wardley's not messing about. He's not trying to hang about. And he goes in there and he gets the job done, and he gets it done early. Again, we did see the technical flaws in Fabio Wardley's game. He was getting jabbed. He was getting lined up. But Fabio Wardley's got that dog in him. And that means that even though he lacks the pedigree and the experience, he is going to win fights that he has no right to win. And that was a fight that he had no right to win. A former white collar boxer against a former multiple time Olympian. This shouldn't be happening, but it has. And that is testament to Fabio Wardley and his natural raw talent. So let's see where he goes on from here. People saying Jared Anderson. I'd want to give Jared Anderson a comeback fight first. Fabio Wardley's one of those guys where I think that he's going to win fights. He's continuously winning fights that you don't expect him to win. I do believe that when he does eventually lose, it may be early and it may be devastating fashion, because I believe that he really lacks the fundamentals. And although sometimes that can be his gift, I think at some point it's going to be his curse, and he's going to get caught with a rookie mistake in round 1 against an experienced opponent that you may not even expect to beat Fabio Wardley early, and he may not even be renowned for having punching power. Someone even like Joseph Parker, I honestly believe that Fabio Wardley is going to come up against someone who maybe not a puncher, maybe not that heralded, not that bigged up, not that known, and he may get sparked out early. Not because it's his fault, but because he lacks that experience, but he's always dangerous. I do worry about that nose going forward, because no matter what anyone says, and it didn't matter in this fight, it did not fully heal. So I do worry about that going forward. Now, moving on, Ben Whittaker. Did Ben Whittaker quit? I'm not in his mind. I don't know what happened. I saw what happened, but I don't know what happened. It's going to be one of those ones where we may never know. In my opinion, I'm leaning towards he possibly did quit, because the way he went back on those ropes, it looked a little bit simulated to me. Again, I'm not in his mind. I can't say for definite. Only he knows. But what I will say is, you know, it looked like I'm leaning towards he possibly did. We will never know, but Ben Whittaker, his stock has fallen from that. He didn't look comfortable. It wasn't domination from Liam Campbell, but it looked like maybe the tide was turning. It was a close fight, and it shouldn't have been a close fight when you consider what Liam Cameron was there to do. He was there to lose. So, I mean, in his mind he wasn't, but he was brought in to lose. So I think the only thing for Ben Whittaker really, I think if he wants to restore his reputation, he needs to go and get a straight rematch when he's Bella. But in terms of being clever as a matchmaker, I'm not too sure. If I was handling Ben Whittaker, I would hesitate before putting him back in with Liam Cameron, because that might make the wheels fall off. Whereas people have short memories, you know. If they bring Ben Whittaker back against against a journeyman, he knocks out a journeyman in a couple rounds, and then they build him up, styles make fights, they avoid Liam Cameron, they go through the Liam Cameron level, but they don't fight a Liam Cameron himself, and then they build him up that way, and he may never have to fight Liam Cameron again. That sort of question mark's always there, but at least it isn't an L. That would sort of be my line of thinking if I was his matchmaker. But in terms of a reputation point of view, he should go straight back in there. But many people are going to question Ben Whittaker moving forward. So we'll see what happens with him. Potentially showed a bit of quitting there. And if he's showing quitting there against Liam Cameron, what's he going to do against the top of the light heavyweight division? And I'll end off with Eubank Jr. Eubank Jr. to me, yeah, he looks flashy. He looks like he has a bit of style, let's not deny it, with his boxing. But fundamentally, he has some flaws. And I just feel like with his athleticism is naturally going to decrease with age. What are you going to be left with when Eubank Jr. decreases athletically? I'm not saying he's got bad fundamentals, but I don't think he's got amazing fundamentals. So once that athleticism and explosiveness is gone, and I actually think it's already starting to wane a bit, what are you going to be left with? I don't think Eubank Jr. beats Canelo, even though Canelo is probably dropping off a bit. I don't think he beats Janibek. I don't think his best bet is to fight Lara for a belt, in my opinion. So we'll see what happens with Chris Eubank Jr. But obviously he's looking at Conor Benn. Maybe for a money fight, that's the route to go down. Maybe that shows a trajectory that Chris Eubank Jr. is looking to take. More about the money now than titles. And I don't begrudge him for that. You got to make a living. In boxing, you have a short space of time to make life-changing sums of money. So if he can do that, go do it. But we'll see what happens to Chris Eubank Jr. Something tells me we'll see him in a ring with Conor Benn in Saudi Arabia at some point in the future. So that's my midweek report. Let me know what you think about what I spoke about. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, hit the notification bell so you get a notification when I make a new video. If you appreciate my work and want to leave a donation, there's a link for that in the description with that. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you on the next one.